Hi, welcome back. This is an instructional video of how to install the Piracast project, the beta version of the Piracast project. So I just want to get this out of the way first. So I do want to monetize this software in the long run. So this beta version will run for approximately an hour. Um, and given that it's beta, I would highly recommend it. You only try it if you're an enthusiast or you know what you're doing. Because the software is, well, it does work, but it sort of configures your system quite a bit, like setting up DHCP servers and whatnot. So if you're a beginner, then it may feel like your system is in a weird state. Like for example, internet may or may not work because it's trying to access different interfaces. So just keep that in mind. Another thing is this software only right now will only work with this specific dongle. Because Miracast, the specification requires Wi-Fi direct support, and that has a hardware component to it. So you have to have a dongle that supports Wi-Fi direct, which this guy has. And the driver included with this software right now only supports this dongle, or only the driver for this dongle has been compiled. So anything else will not work. Okay, so let's get to it. So the Piracast project is going to be, or the beta version of it is going to be released in a version in zip file, right? So this is a vanilla image. This is a clean image that I downloaded from the Raspberry Pi form. This is as of September 25th, and actually, yeah. And this project only works with the September 25th image as of right now because they're still changing the firmware in the background, and then I've tried earlier versions of the images, and it didn't work. So I've tested this on the September 25th image, Debian. It works. I can't make guarantees for other ones. So let's look at this. So this is a clean image, and all I have is just the zip file being loaded in there. So as you can see, that's the Piracast tar.gz. So let's extract that. It's a VF and then Piracast. Okay. So let's go into so it's extracted Piracast, and then let's go into that. So there's a installer and there's an application. So let's go into the installer first. So let's do a sudo python setup.py, and let's just hit go. So you can look at the setup script itself, but basically what it does is it install the driver for the dongle that I showed you earlier, along with setting up the DHCP server, as well as copying the specific configuration files over to configure the DHCP server accordingly. So this process will take a bit of time because I made sure that the repository list is updated first. So now here comes the awkward silence. So we need to wait until this process completes, which effectively is really just the installation, the installation process itself. Okay, so now that the installation is completed, and you'll notice that at the end I added a bit of instruction here. So you have to configure static IP address on the on the wireless dongle interface. So let's do that. So it says basically open up this file and then add these lines in there. So sudo, I'm a VI user, so let's use that, network interfaces. So the text is on the top here. So I'm just gonna take out this line and then static and what is it? Address. And I think this is gateway, and then a net mask of 255. So for this beta, I forced the network interface on the wireless interface, the Miracast interface, to be 192.168.2 and 254, and so that's why it's force set to this right now. So that's good. So now we can just do a save, and let me just double check. Yeah, I think that's good, and then let's exit. clear this. So, right, so let's look at the network interface right now. So we can see that the Wi-Fi interface isn't actually configured. I'm not sure if this is required, but I like to just service networking, just restart the network interface. Okay, so now that's done, and then let's look at that again. Okay, so we haven't got an IP address yet, so let's bring up the network interface. Up, lane 0, and enter. Okay, so let's check again. Right, so now the WLAN 0, the wireless interface, now has is configured to what we specify in the configuration file. So let's go back. So we're still in the installer directory. Let's go one level up, and let's go to the application layer. Actually, sorry, let me, before that, these guys here, so aside from the configuration files, the supplicant, the CLI, host APD, CLI, and host APD are actually all executable. So I need to change the permission accordingly. So let's go back one level up, and let's do a sudo chmod 777, because I'm lazy, and then application. So that changes all the permission on these executable to be allowed to be executed. So let's go back. Okay, so now that's good. So now we can execute the actual application itself. So to access the wireless driver functions, you have to, again, you need to be in super user mode. So let's do sudo main. Okay, so now we can see the application is running. So it's enabling, or it's just enabling interface, and then now it's query the network stats on a per second interval. So this is the flaky part of the beta. So the session establishment portion of this, as indicated in the previous video, is controlled using command line utilities that access the driver function. So it's a little flaky, and I haven't quite had the time to figure out how to stabilize it more. So once the session is connected, it actually runs quite smoothly. But before then, it's not so robust. So that's the part I need to figure out, and that's why this is still a beta. So let's try to, oh, actually, can you just focus on the screen? So right now, if you look at my phone screen and I click on wireless, so this is just here, right? So bring it down, and I click on wireless display, and then the Piracast project should be available. So this may take multiple attempts before you get it to run. So again, this is the reason why this is the beta. So let's click on connect. And if you can just go back here, and you can see that now the session is being initiated. And luckily, this time it actually seemed to went through. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Okay, so now this actually worked quite fluidly this time. Actually, can you just focus on the screen now? So the session has now been bridged. So when you're doing this, if it's stalled or if freeze or whatever, just keep trying. It'll eventually work. Sometimes you have to cancel it on the phone first before you initiate the connection. So right now, so the Miracast session is up, right? So the limitation to this beta right now is there's a 1 hour, supposedly 1 hour connection time before it will disconnect itself, and then you just need to reconnect again. And then the 1 hour is approximately 1 hour because it's 120 keep alive that are fired off at approximately 30 seconds. So 30 seconds each time. So last time I tried it, I think it actually disconnected around 15 minutes markish. But regardless, so now it works. Oh, sorry, and another thing is the video has to go through the HDMI port, and the audio has to come out of the audio jack, the 3 point, this jack here. So again, I haven't had time to set up the configuration file to mux. So you could do this everything all through the HDMI. I just haven't had time to get to it yet. So again, that will be improved later on. But yeah, so right now everything should just work. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. But yeah, so as you can see, the there's a lag between the video, between the source and the sync right now, and I covered this in the previous video. This I think is a limitation of the phone. Um, I'm not sure why they're doing that, but that's what's happening right now. So I can't really. Oh, so the I could get the video to only so the source is transmit the when it's sending out the video, it seems to be 400 millisecond behind or 600 millisecond behind, but there is a lag between the audio and the video, right? So to keep them in sync, I need to delay essentially up to a second right now, and I couldn't figure out a way. I think that's a limitation from the source. There's nothing I can do about that. And this is a sort of a poor video to demonstrate this, but audio and video are actually in sync, right? And then so that if you so you can watch a Netflix show on this, and there's gonna be no problem. It's not gonna disorient. It's not gonna be disorienting like some other. So I've read a review of some other receiver, and then I know that most people complain about video and audio. They're out of sync, so that when you watch a Netflix show, it's very disorienting. And then I think I've addressed that in my implementation. So let's see if there's anything else I want to cover. Oh yeah, so the black border. I think that's also a source thing. I've done a recording and then do a playback on VLC itself. I think the source, because the screen size is not exactly 720p. So to accommodate to fit everything into the specified resolution, which this only seems to support 720p, there will be compromises on the sides. So again, there are implementations out there that allows you to that sort of assume the resolution to be whatever, and then just expands that accordingly. I haven't done that yet, so I'll probably address that in the future as well in the form of a configuration file or something like that. Right. So as indicated earlier, because this installation messes around with the DHCP setting, and then now you have two network interfaces, but one of them doesn't really work because it's the Piracast project. You may now have problem accessing the internet using the Raspberry Pi. Right. So this is again the reason why unless you're an enthusiast or if you know what you're getting yourself into, I would recommend you not trying this project out right now, because there's still a lot of details or quirky details I need to finalize. One last thing, I will highly recommend that you use a class 10 SD card. It's just that it's just a lot faster. Just don't. I cheaped out. I used the slower ones. Just don't just use the class 10 one. That's it. I'm still trying to work out some technical issues with Indie City. I was trying to release this on Indie City, but I couldn't get it to work. So I'm still trying to sort it out with them. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. So yeah. But I think I'll include where the project can be downloaded in the description of the video. So yeah. So if you want, give it a try. Let me know what you think. Again, let me know if you have any questions. So yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.